Hi lovelies, and welcome back to yet another Vlogmas day 2. Sorry for the late upload, but you guys, let's just jump right into it. So I got this amazing kettle from this lovely brand. They sent me their kettle that has some amazing accessories. You have this strainer in there. You also have this strainer holder that holds the strainer and just collects all the liquid that comes with the things you're trying to brew. This is a dishwasher and microwave safe kettle. I would not advise that you put this on direct heat. However, it is suitable for infusion and for brewing and things like that. So there's this tea that I always take, and I was just itching to try it out in this kettle. So I have some hibiscus leaf. You also know that as zobo. I have some cloves, ginger and lemon, and I also have my berry tea there. So I'm going to be starting off with my berry tea bag. This is just a very lovely calming tea that I drink from time to time. I'm also going to be adding my hibiscus leaves, some cloves, lemon, and I'm going to brew that first before I go in with my ginger later on. So I'm adding freshly boiled water. So this is boiling water, and I'm just going to let that steep for a while, and after a while I'm going to be adding my ginger. This is the blended ginger that I always have on hand, and I'm topping that with a little more hot water. Let that steep for a while. Try to agitate that as well so that the ginger infuses with the rest of the things I'm trying to brew. I just leave that to steep for an extra 2 minutes and it's done. I just pour that over a cup of lemon slices, and I'm going to be adding some honey to that. I'm adding 2 tablespoons or 2 teaspoons rather of honey, and my hibiscus berry tea is ready to drink. So because it's winter and things get cold a lot quicker, I'm going to be heating this up, because before I finished this one, the tea in the kettle was a bit colder, so I just heated that up and I had the rest of it much later in the day. But you guys, how is Vlogmas for everyone? How is our preparation towards Christmas? This is just me prepping for the week. I've just opened a fresh bag of chicken drumsticks. I'm just going to be washing that, and this is typically how I spend my weekend. It's meal prepping for the week, because I'm usually not at home during the week. And you guys, I got this pot from Morrison's. It did not serve its purpose because it was not compatible with my cooktop. I thought my cooktop was an induction cooktop, but apparently it is not. But anyway, you guys, this is just me trying to use the pot for the first time. I just gave it a good wash, and then I proceeded to just boil the full bag of chicken. This is a first for me, as I mentioned before. But anyway, you guys, I decided to go ahead and cut up some onion, well, a whole onion that I will be using later on. You guys, you probably always see me with headphones on, and that's because I'm constantly listening to either music or watching a movie. But today I'm watching a series. I'm watching Carnival Fair. This is the last season, I believe. I'm just going to go ahead and season my chicken. I'm using some black pepper. I'm using some ginger powder, curry, thyme, coriander. I'm also going to be using some chicken seasoning, some dry parsley, salt to taste, and then I'm going to be topping that with water. So this is all the seasoning that I'm putting in it. I'm just going to give it a good mix, and then we're going to boil. Actually, the heat was already on already, but I wasn't feeling it, so I thought that was probably because the chicken was still slightly cold, so I decided to leave it and go ahead with my pepper mix. So I'm making pepper mix for the week. I'm starting off with some tomatoes, and we're also going to be putting some bell peppers, some sweet chili, some hot chili as well. I'm also going to be putting some habanero pepper in there. I'm trying this red chili for the first time. It gave my pepper body, but it wasn't spicy. So yeah, so I'm just going to be cutting all of this up and making a huge batch of pepper for the week, and that's because I usually like to have jollof rice. Jollof rice is always a winner in my household. I'm sure most people will agree as well. I'm making a huge batch of jollof rice, and I'm also going to be making pepper I'm going to be making vegetable. I want to make okra soup as well. And then I think I just want to have some extra pepper on hand just to be able to make anything spontaneous like pepper, spaghetti or anything like that. I think I must have shared this method of how I make my batch pepper in bulk. I think I must have shared this in a vlog some time back, but because we have new people coming in all the time, I'm just going to be showing you how I make my pepper. So I try not to blend it immediately because it wears my blender out. So this is something I've been doing since South Africa, so roughly almost 10 years now. I'm just going to be adding all my pepper mix. I have my tomatoes, red pepper, all the peppers. I have ginger, garlic and onions in there as well, and sometimes I have the green onions, but today I didn't put that in. So I just have all of that in there. I'm just going to be boiling that till it is all soft. And this is the chicken much later. Like you can see, it's still struggling to come to a boil while the tomato and the pepper mix is already bubbling away. So this is how I concluded that the pot is not compatible with my cooktop. For some reason, I don't know why. My husband tried to check online, but what we could find was to be putting wire gauze on the cooktop, which is something I think will damage it, but I just decided to use this outdoor. I'll show you what I'll do with it later on. So the pepper mix is starting to boil, but I'm not yet done with that. I'm just going to be checking on the chicken and tasting it for salt, because sometimes the salt tends to disappear after a while. So I'm just topping up the salt and I'm going to leave that to boil, continue to boil, because the chicken is still not done at this point. This is the carnival fair or carnival roll I was watching. It's really interesting if you're into sci-fi, or what's it called, I don't know the name, but if you just like all this, I don't know, if you just enjoy movies, that is my suggestion for today. But anyway, the pepper is done and I'm just going in with my immersion blender. I brought this from South Africa. I didn't buy it here, but I bought it at a thrift shop in South Africa, and I'm just going to be going in when the pepper is all soft. By the way, the burner is off at this point, so I'm just going to be using this to blend my pepper till it is completely smooth. I do not need a blender to blend this any further. So this is basically how I do batch cooking for pepper and all of that. So this is an industrial one. You can find the home use ones in Aldi. I've seen that in Aldi. I've also seen it in Morrison's as well. I'm sure you can find this in basically any store you can find around. It makes the cooking process for me so much easier. It cuts my washing time in half because I'm not bothered about blending in the blender or anything like that, and the pepper comes out really smooth. So if you are also struggling with lumpy soup or things that you will have to see your seeds or anything like that in it, use this method and thank me later. It is really effective. I just tried to shake off this head or this handle and just to get all the tomato skins out of the way, and I turn on the heat again to continue boiling the pepper just to reduce it a bit, and I cover it with that silicone strainer. So this is something I bought at a thrift stop as well. I'm just checking on the chicken for the opportunity time, because at this point I was really frustrated because it was not cooking, it wasn't getting done, it was just wasting my energy at this point. So I'm just transferring the chicken into my lined baking rack. I'm just going to be finishing the chicken off in the burner, or in the oven rather. At this point the pot was I already made up my mind that I'm just going to use it outdoor and use it for my December cooking. At this point I was not even going to be stressed because the pot was really good quality, but it was just not compatible with my cooktop. So I'm just going to go ahead and dry up the chicken in there. Thank you to everyone who has engaged on my Vlogmas videos. I know the reception is not what I expected, because the last video is still struggling to get to 1,000 views, but it is what it is. Quality control there. This is everything I was able to make from that batch of pepper. So I still had some leftover. I had some vegetable. I had my jollof rice batch cooked for the week. And yeah, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate every single one of you who has stopped by. But before we go, this is an item I got from an amazing brand. They've sent me this one piece. Came in 2 colors. This is what it looks like. It's a onesie that I can just wear and lounge in the house. The description to this item will be in the description box. Go ahead and check it out, and I will see you guys in my next one. Have a Merry Christmas, and I wish you all the best. Bye guys.